This meeting is being recorded.
The show is being recorded. You're in front of a live studio audience, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are here, and this is the latest episode of that show that never stops. The boys from Bossk, ladies and gentlemen. They are a group of men on a mission to save the world by bringing you the news and stories and entertainment from around the internet web and around the world. They are the hunters that will never stop. They are the boys from Bossk. Woo! Welcome back. How are you guys doing? You all right? It's pandemic's almost over. Entertainment will be.
We've said that before, haven't
we? We've been down this route before, and
it's been a long time.
It's hard to know what's going on," said Matt Hancock's wife to his mistress. But we are we are here. We don't stop. We keep hunting for all the bounties we can find. And it was a quiet day at first, and then it sort of exploded with lots of news. So we're gonna have lots to talk about. But I figured we'd start the show with that thing that we promised to talk about a lot of, but we don't get tied into too often. Comic books seem to have survived the pandemic for the most part. Nobody seems to have gone under. Big storylines are still doing the massive crossovers and stuff like that. Was there anything out there that caught your eyes during the pandemic, or anything you're excited about? Myself, I'm looking forward to Heroes Reborn.
Have you not read that? I've read that all just now, actually. I read that last week, which is interesting. I didn't love it. I read it because it's a thing, you know.
Somebody said to me it was people have been saying it's Marvel's take on The Boys.
Yeah.
But without the swearing, the blood, and
it's Marvel's pastiche of DC and The Boys a little bit.
Yeah,
but it all just felt really just false, and it just felt like none of it was going to matter. And I think there's a problem with these sort of reality altering things when they do stuff. You know, it's always going to return to the status quo, don't you?
Yeah.
So you kind of like the last one I really enjoyed was I forgot what it's called, but where Captain America went evil.
Yeah.
And
Hail Hydra.
Yeah, the Hail Hydra one. That was cool because it was like if the Nazis had won kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was cool. But
that was cool until the end when Marvel seemed to run away from that story so fast you wouldn't believe.
No, but it was cool because you had Nazi Captain America against normal Captain America. And that was fun. So Heroes Reborn finished, and now it's got Heroes Return, return to status quo. And that was kind of fun, but it was all a bit half-assed, I felt, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't need to read this. I've been trying to catch up with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's mad when you read all of these comics in one go. Yeah. So I've probably read 4 years worth of comics in a sort of in one chunk.
Pandemic reading.
Yeah.
You never read this.
Well, no, because I was just reading
Rain Man.
I read it all in quick succession.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed the Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which was where Dr. Octopus took over Peter Parker's body.
Yeah, that was the last time. That run was the last time I actually read.
Which was a great
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Was it good because it was he wasn't evil, but he wasn't necessarily. You know, he's morally dubious to put.
I thought it was a brilliant idea. If you can't have a body swap with, where else can you have a body swap with Dr. Octopus?
Yeah,
but it was a comic book.
It was a really cool idea, and then they had a big clone saga thing come back, which is I know people hated it, but I've got a soft spot for it because when I started reading comics when I was 11 or whatever, this was the storyline in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it with my dad, and even my dad was like, so which one's the clone? Is that one the clone? Is that one the real one? And then you didn't know at the end. And that was a good way of how they brought back Dr. Octopus as well. Because he perfected a clone and now he's back in a nice, hot, sexy body. And then Peter Parker had a big big company like Stark Industries.
Yeah.
But in typical Spider-Man thing, Spider-Man meant that he had to ruin that. And then he works for the Daily Bugle as a science editor. That goes tits up. He gets accused of plagiarizing his doctorate thesis, because obviously at the time it was Otto Octavius who wrote it. So then he gets his degree, he gets his doctorate taken off him, so he has to go back to university. And like that's the good thing about Spider-Man. It's like about Peter Parker Spider-Man is like he's always just trying to get a leg up, and him being Spider-Man is the cross that he has to bear. And I've been enjoying it. The problem is the comics. There's lots of filler issues as well.
Yeah.
So when you're reading it, you're like, why did I read this? Like I'm not enjoying this because it's a story just one issue long. You're like, oh. But anyway, yeah, I've been enjoying that.
Well, I've been reading through Invincible. I put Invincible off for ages. I don't know why, but I've been reading through all the Invincible trades.
Oh, see, that's on my list as well. Is it worth doing?
It's definitely worth doing. It's very different from the animated. I think it's not. I think as world changing as a lot of the fans like to think it is. Especially if you're like us and been around in comics for a while. I've seen these tropes and these types of stories before. But yeah, it's definitely worth reading. Just the switches and the blood and guts alone are like, oh wow. But it is, be prepared, it is very different from the animated in the sense that it is written as a comic book, and the animated's like the worked on second draft, if you will, third draft of Invincible. But yeah, definitely worth reading. I've quite enjoyed it. I'm only part way through the second volume, and there's still loads to go. So I haven't stopped reading that, and I think I might start doing my Star Wars trades, because I don't know if you know this, but every day I get up, right, someone bought me a Lando Star Wars comic book, and I see it, and I'm reminded. I'm reminded to actually go and watch it and read some of the books. I do love Star Wars.
Honestly, like the Star Wars comics are great. Because it's not about changing the story, it's about just fleshing out what you might think is a throwaway scene. Becomes so much more poignant because of these comics. Like honestly, at the moment they've just started War of the Bounty Hunters. And it's basically Boba Fett gets Han Solo stolen off of him, and then it's all these bounty hunters are just trying to get Han Solo. And it's hilarious. It's
this when he's in Kryptonite.
It's when he's in Carbonite. And it's they're all trying to get him, and it's only 2 issues in, and I'm like, this is fun. Like IG-88 tries to kill Darth Vader, which was
that wouldn't have gone well.
That's why I say tried. Also, you should read the Darth Vader comics. Are great.
I've read those. I've read those more than I've read any of the other ones.
I read that recently about basically he gets demoted after the Death Star gets blown up. Because obviously it's like a massive military defeat, and he's the only survivor. And I was like, and it's so funny. It's just because, you're not going to make any friends there, are you?
No.
And it's him having to like prove his worth to the Emperor again, and even now I think there's one thing where he gets the Emperor just fucks him up and then just leaves him on Mustafa, and he's like, fix yourself. So he's there, and he's got an assassin after him and stuff, and the comics are cool, man.
I've always loved the comic books way more than the books. Which the books to me are just, apart from the ones with the blue guy
Thrawn.
Apart from those 3 books with Thrawn, the expanded Star Wars universe, and I know this is going to be controversial.
That one,
is that?
Shadows of the Empire.
Apart from those ones, the extended universe, fucking nightmare. I remember reading it, and they had books, right, where Han Solo settled down with 4 kids, and he's just chill with Leia going off being an ambassador. And I'm like, really? Like, they were cool with Leia after they found out her daddy was like, Hitler, space Hitler. I was like, there's no way. I don't know how you guys felt, but there was no way that was ever going to happen.
Wouldn't he be like Space Goebbels, or no? No,
that's a good point.
The Emperor would be Space Hitler, wouldn't he?
Yeah, the Emperor would be Space Hitler, and Vader
Moff Tarkin would be. Anyway, let's not assign the Nazi Party into Star Wars. That will be on our next one. That's on our other podcast called NazisInStarWars.com.
It's like parents who name their kids Anakin. I'm like, really? Okay. What made you do that? But cool. Okay. oh, well, he doesn't become bad until the Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, but you forget he killed a village full of sand people. Like, slaughtered
And
them.
kiddos.
And a load of kids.
Yeah. I was like, he literally slaughters them, and Padme's like, it'll be okay. No, it won't be okay. That shit doesn't get better. It doesn't
Be
wash off.
okay if he's with
But
Padme.
that was just me. No, but Heroes Reborn's coming out soon. I know that Black Superman's getting his own comic. I think I don't know if it's going to be a permanent fixture.
He's in a thing called Infinite Frontier, and he's the leader of this like multi-dimensional Justice League.
Yeah, which I think is really, really cool. I know that it's been a rough run for a lot of comic books, and a lot of them are coming back out, but I can't wait. I've never been this happy about comic books in a long time. And my all-time favorite Transformers is still in the fight. And they've just rebooted the Transformers.
Is that a
universe.
surfing ones?
No, that definitely does not connect to the. I literally went back and watched that cartoon. I tried really hard to watch the Transformers cartoon.
What, the original one?
Yeah, but I realise now
how bad it is.
The movie wasn't just the pinnacle. The movie had like actual like writers and producers and people who were paid a lot of money to come and do this. Because no wonder Michael Bay people criticize Michael Bay, but clearly Michael Bay went back and watched the cartoons. Michael Bay produced whatever that monster of the past few Transformers films off the back of the cartoons. Because if you watch the cartoons, they're bad. I mean, they're shocking.
There's another one coming out soon, though, isn't there?
Yeah, but they've just
with the Dinobots.
See, Dave, you jumped straight in there.
Yeah.
Yes, and they've cast the mighty Ron Perlman
as Optimus Primal.
Yeah, Optimus Primal, which I think's awesome, especially as he's had not a rough run because the man's been getting work left, right, and centre. But after they dismissed him from Hellboy and then made what I can only describe as
Sons of Anarchy was in after Hellboy.
Yeah,
and that was a big part.
Yeah, and then I don't know if any of you saw the latest Hellboy film, but it was shockingly bad.
It's very small.
Yeah.
He was like,
well, it had the guy from
David Harbour. Yeah.
And what made it even worse is when they first put the promo out for the Hellboy film with David Harbour, they were like, the master's going to be real. He's going to be working out and shit. And like, you get to the film and it's like, that's clearly a rubber suit.
Clearly a rubber suit.
Clearly a rubber. David Harbour, he's not working out that hard for anybody. Do you know what I mean? And to make it even worse, I think they just retold the original film.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to see that. I enjoy Hellboy. I'd rather just read the comics at this point.
And they had what's his name into it? You Can't See Me, playing a character.
John Cena.
Playing a character called Buster Crab.
Yeah. And
it was like he wasn't in the original. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Why is this guy hot? And I was like, I give up. At this point, I was like, you boys, you just laid your own grave.
I think I only watched 3/4 of the film before I turned it off. It was
terrible film. Absolutely appalling film.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I gave that a miss.
Yeah, don't ever watch it. I know even on a Sunday afternoon when you may be tempted, you met a girl last night, hey, you got it on, you woke up in the morning, she's asleep, and you don't want to wake her up. So you go into the living room to watch a film and Hellboy pops up, turn that channel immediately, all right? Don't watch it. It's a disgrace of a film and really does a massive disservice to Hollywood in so many different ways. But anyway, it's enough about the past. We go to the far past, to the more recent past. Okay. Obviously, there's a few trailers that have been released this week and a few films coming out. Any of you excited by Fast and Furious 9? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. But the 9th outing of Fast and Furious, where it is rumored they go into space.
It's actually the 10th.
10th? I wouldn't know.
You had Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay, technically, but it's the 9th in the main franchise.
Tokyo Drift doesn't count.
Dave, are you excited by it? I know you've been to the cinema for every single one. Is this going to be added to your list?
No.
Okay. Why? Because I'm going to go watch it. COVID?
Not sitting in a room full of people with masks on. It's just not worth it.
Not the bad acting or the action scenes.
No, you won't just be able to breathe in these crappy English cinemas.
What about you, Mike? Are you tempted to hit for that one?
The last Fast and Furious I watched was, I think, the second one. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh, sweet man. Yeah, do you know what? In that case, because I can get easy access to Fast and Furious anyway, that should be our movie marathon. We all
Oh,
need to sit
no.
down and watch it. No, you haven't seen it, so it'll be like
Wrong
a brand new
day.
baby. Yeah, just because it's the Fast and Furious are the type of films that Michael Bay must look at and go, how do they do it and not get criticized? And how do I get slagged off constantly, right? And literally, Fast and Furious 9, watch the trailer. Not only apparently they're going into space, but they literally have a car that works like Tarzan. And I'm beyond like not going to the cinema for it. It's already made $70 million in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's not anything else to go see, really. It's not like there's competition. It's not like there's a Marvel film to go see instead, is it? You know, or another John Wick or something.
There was something
the
else
only
out.
thing.
Cruella's out.
Yeah, but the same people watching Corella are not the same people watching Fast and Furious, I think.
No,
I think I'd watch both.
But
you're a unique creature, mate.
I am.
the only films out in the States at the moment that are anywhere near to being close to it are The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Two.
No, the second film in that franchise. And I think that's about it. Oh my God, there's a Meet the Blacks too. That's shocking.
Who are they?
There was a film that came out a couple of years ago. I think over here it went straight to DVD, but it was in the cinema, and it's basically it was basically The Purge, but it was a black family. And now there's a sequel, and it seems like they're taking a piss out of Blackula, which is an old blaxploitation.
Is it a Wayne's film?
No, but it's probably the same sort of crowd. It's not. Is
it your favorite? One that plays Mandini or whatever it is.
No. I'm not. I think you'd have to go and watch it. I'm not like. I don't know. I think Mike Epps. Do you remember Mike Epps?
No.
Well, Mike Epps is a lead. Yeah, Mike Epps is a lead. And I think it's got the woman from My Name is Earl and a few other characters in it. But yeah, that I just noticed that. It's not a big deal. I don't want us to go off course on a shit movie like that. So yeah, Meet the Blacks 2. That's not competition for that film. But yeah, 70 mil on its first week is pretty impressive, I think. And as much as I hate the Fast and Furious films, I think I've watched every single one. And I think
you can't hate it that much.
No, I can, but I need to remind myself of how bad these films can get and why I should be working in Hollywood. And it motivates me. It motivates me at the same time it's disgusting me. I don't know, Mike. How do you know? Does that sound like justification enough? Or
No.
Well, he won't be watching it.
I'm all right.
That's two definite no's, but I think it'll make a good movie marathon gig. Now, what did you guys think of the old? Did you watch the trailer for the Shang-Chi film coming out? Did you?
No, I'm not watching.
I watched the original one.
I watched the first trailer.
After that, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, me and Dave are on the same page here. We're only watching first trailers
because you're just going to ruin everything.
All right, no. Well, just for our listeners, then you guys, pleasure is the trailer looks really, really good. It looks absolutely like it's going to have a fire in its hands to martial arts films because Snake Eyes is also coming out, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of fights in this. It looks like
it'll be 10 rings.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to do a sort of version of Mortal Kombat in there somewhere as well, which means that we may get a better version of Mortal Kombat. The Marvel's like, do you know what? Let's give them Mortal Kombat, but an actual good film. And then we may actually get it in this because there's a few characters from previous Marvel films which look like they're taking part in a tournament. I won't spoil it for you two guys because obviously you haven't seen the trailer and the films.
Well, there's only two. That would be the Hulk and Thor.
No.
Because they were in a fighting tournament, weren't they? Ragnarok.
No, true, but it's not Hulk or Thor. But the characters have both appeared with those characters. Is all I will say. But like I said, don't worry about it. You'll get that in a couple of months. But it looks fantastic.
Is it a Stone Man?
Look, you're
It's
not
the
watching.
South African Stone Man. I can see it by your face.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. Also, what I would add about it is it's going to be interesting to see what direction.
It's Rocket.
No, it's going to be interesting to see which direction they take the Mandarin in. Because if you remember, I know Michael will probably remember it more, and Dave, you might remember it from the really bad early 90s Iron Man cartoon. But the Mandarin was based on a racist stereotype.
Ben Kingsley played the Mandarin. See, I remember these things.
Yeah, but he was a fake one, wasn't
he?
Yeah, but he was the funny one.
Yeah. So the Mandarin's going to be appearing again in this, and it's going to be interesting the way Marvel handle it. Because I know you hate politics, but obviously this film wants to launch big in China, and the Chinese, they only allow, I think, 4 Western movies to have cinema releases per year.
Yeah.
In China, or is it 10? I don't know, but 4 Marvel films definitely come out per year. So it'll be.
Why are they so strict?
Because they don't want.
They're still communist, aren't they?
They don't want certain ideas coming down to their people. It's not just communism, certain ideas. That's why Star Wars wasn't released for, I think, 20 years.
What, a rebellion against the oppressive regime? Yeah, I can see that maybe not doing too well.
Don't want ideas.
Space
but
Nazis.
Then if you look at a lot of Marvels, you look at a lot of movies now, the villains, you won't really get mention of villains or freedom and stuff like that. Even Marvel's Avengers was more like less about that type of stuff. So you won't really get that mentioned in movies, especially if they want them released in China.
Oh.
But if you take an average 80s film and compare it to the Marvel films, although don't get me wrong, I love the Marvel films, but they clearly dodge certain subjects in those movies now, and that's because they have to get released in China.
Okay, it's such a big market.
Yeah, and those films they don't care about it with, they don't tend to fuss so much. But I'm not being bad. That's something that Marvel and Disney are going to have to deal with at some point down the road, because when you're handling characters like Captain America and all the rest of it, it makes it kind of like
Cap's dead.
No, he's just retired, darling. He's retired. Cap never dies. And, right, so moving on. Where were we? So, yeah, another fantastic trailer came out today. It was it's from Apple TV. Now, for those of you that may have forgotten, Apple TV is the Apple Corporation's own streaming service. Now, I don't know anybody that's paid and bought for this streaming service. I know, Dave, you've got it. I know you've got it on thing for free as part of your purchase of an Apple product. Mike, have you ever indulged the old Apple TV fetish?
All right, mate. Right, mate. I don't know. You're
Get my whips and chains out for Apple TV, shall I?
Yeah. You're asking me my safety word. I don't know what's going on.
Have you indulged it?
Anti-establishment terrorism. No. No. I watched. No, nothing. I don't think.
Well, that's what I mean with Apple. I know, Dave, you said you only watched one thing on it.
Ted Lasso.
I've seen. I have managed to watch C, which is the one.
I tried to watch it, but that was boring.
It is long-running, but it is quite.
I do watch one thing, Mythic Quest.
Right, that one was. I think that got a season 2.
Yeah.
Not to watch that.
Why?
Because you said it was really bad.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched. I must have been bored and watched the second series then.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'm not judging. I've watched many a show like that and been like, ooh.
I put it on my list and then you went, no, don't watch it.
Okay, if you're that bored, watch it.
That's okay.
Yeah. I watched.
So that's the one where he's the computer designer, isn't he?
Yeah, well, it's basically World of Warcraft. They make World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So
I'm going to watch it now.
yeah.
Well-
It's all right. It's not as good as Always Sunny, but it's still fun.
Well, it's
Because
definitely
they're
got a
all
second-
horrible people. So
Okay. Well, definitely got a second season. I want to watch Apple TV because some of their shows, like I said, I like the look of Sea. I think they've got another Steven Spielberg show on there, Amazing Adventures, and there's a few little shows I like the look of. But overall, it's not something that I've been willing to separate. But I think it's like $7.99, $4.99 a month. It's not something I've been willing to pay for till now, because Disney released their trailer for Foundation.
Yeah, I've just watched it.
Yeah, and they just released the second trailer, and I'm sorry, it looks fantastic.
Well, that's not out till September.
Yeah, well, they need to start getting people excited for it now, because I think that if it was on any other streaming service, this show would be pulling people in. Like,
is it based on the Foundation trilogy?
yeah.
Ooh, I'm looking it up now.
This show would literally be pulling in people, and people would be subscribing already in preparation for it. I think, unfortunately, Apple TV is such a novelty streaming service that unfortunately people aren't picking up on it. Even though people say to me they love Ted Lasso, even you, Dave, you said that was quite good.
I'd love to. If that second season comes out for that soon.
I don't think people are willing to pay the $5.99 per month, and I think it's the same with Star Plays, which has the best DC show ever on it, which is Pennyworth. But people aren't willing to separate.
Probably with Apple, you can get a whole subscription that has everything on it.
Yeah,
for like £15.
And what, music as well?
Yes, it has music, storage. So what's it got? Got music, Apple TV, Apple Arcade, and 200 gig of storage.
For
that's quite
£15
good.
a month.
For $19.95. But you can get an individual. That's for a family. An individual is $14.95.
I don't know. I reckon it's just a bit, considering the amount of competition out there, it's just a bit too much. But that's more than anybody, like, especially as Apple TV don't have that much product.
Yeah.
I think that's just a bit too much money.
Do they own any IP or not really?
None. There was rumor they were going to go in and buy a studio, but so far they haven't. And I know Sony aren't going to sell because Sony's making ridiculous amounts of money at the moment, and they're the only big one left.
Well, they said they weren't going to sell, didn't they? That's why Amazon bought MGM.
Amazon bought MGM. I think the only you could go and buy one of the big boys. Like I'm sure if somebody stepped in and said, "I want to buy Paramount," even though they've got their own service, if Apple put enough money out there, there's no reason why they couldn't buy Paramount. Sky TV, there's huge potential in somebody coming in, stepping in and going, "We'll buy that."
But Sky TV is basically HBO, isn't it?
Not for much longer, from what I can tell. HBO's deal, I think, only lasts for another couple of years. Then I think Sky is going to have to start finding their own. I don't know.
They've been making their own films during this whole pandemic.
Yeah. None of them
every
good.
Friday premiere, they've been very bad. Not one's been good.
Yeah.
Poor Robert De Niro and Morgan Freeman last week. Oh my god.
What was that one?
Some heist movie. I'd turn it off after 30 seconds. These guys should not do comedy. They're serious method actors.
No, he did. De Niro did a number of good.
He's not a comedian. He's a gangster.
No, but he's done a lot
He's
of
Raging Bull.
comedies. He's done what was it first?
Meet the Fuckers. Was he Meet
Bad
the Fuckers?
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Meet the Fuckers. Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. It was him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was De Niro. Meet the Fuckers. He's brilliant in that. But I get what you mean. It would be nice to see him in a few more gangster films before it goes out. But no, I just think at the end of the day, especially with these services, it's going to be interesting to see who lasts to the end. HBO's in a good position. Disney's in a fantastic position. Netflix are doing really well. What are the rest of the boys going to do?
There's not much to grab up, really, is there? Like, what else can you buy?
Well, you've got a lot of the. If somebody was able to get the
maybe they should just make programs so people can watch them instead of buying each other out. That'd be the best thing. And then we'd have more to talk about.
Well, that's what I mean with Netflix. It's one of the reasons I haven't given up on Netflix, because they've always seemed to have something more. Like, even if it's like a couple of episodes, they always seem to have something that's like maybe worth watching.
Yeah, they always pull
And I
something
think
out.
that, yeah, like
And then
I
they
think
cancel
even
it.
to, yeah,
Mm.
unfortunately, but even this week they've got like quite a few decent films on there, and like their second season of Lupin was released. I love that show. Jupiter's Legacy was cancelled, but that deserved to be cancelled. That was just a mess of a series.
I didn't even get halfway through it.
Absolute mess.
I tried.
But-
It was just bad.
And all right,
Yeah.
so I think we don't have a. We saw the episode of Loki last week. We reviewed that on a previous show. Bad Batch is, I think, the only big show we all watched. We all watched Big Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you
Me.
boys think of it? I think it's it's been confirmed that it's 16 episodes long, this series, and I think.
Well,
this
we
was
found out who she is now.
Yeah, but we still don't know why she's so important.
She's the last pure clone of Jango Fett.
Yeah, but then why isn't
And Obi-Wan Kenobi. No spoilers.
I don't know. It would be nice if that. It would be a sort of nice symmetry if she was a clone of Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. But I could just see the
Because Django did not have blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah, there's definitely
Space
a mum.
Nazis did.
I don't think she's a clone. I think she's his kid.
I hope not. I can
Yeah,
just see...
with some chick. I don't know. It's something. There's got to be something more. That wasn't enough of a reveal. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else hidden.
Maybe it's going to
Probably,
wait until
probably.
the Obi-Wan series 1's finished.
No, not that big. I mean, like, there's going to be like, maybe it's like, I don't know, a thing. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. But
I'm with you. I think it would be brilliant if they did have a Obi-Wan kid, because one, that would satisfy all the YouTubers who get upset with the new sequels, and two, it'll
Jedi shouldn't have children.
Yeah, it'll get past. If it's a clone, I think people will be like, okay, fair enough, we can deal with that. And then they've got another trilogy on their hands as she tries to build a new Jedi Order with Rey and the rest of them in the background.
yeah.
But I just, at the moment, I really like. I love Dave Filoni, but this is the Star Wars franchise, which seems to make too many left turns rather than the right ones. So we shall see. But I still am enjoying it. Finally, it was nice to see Cade Bane come back.
That was a good fight between him and Fennec. Was it Fennec?
Yeah, that was good.
It was a great fight. The animation is sometimes ropey, but overall, again, looking good. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes next. I think you're gonna. Somebody said Vader might appear. I think that might definitely be a possibility. But I think we might see the Emperor before we see Vader.
I reckon we're going to see more bounty hunters.
Definitely. Definitely. And we'll see. I think maybe even a young Han Solo. You reckon young Han can pop up?
No, that's just stupid. There's no reason for that.
Too early.
Break my dreams, boys. Break my dreams. But this is a saga I think that will keep building, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of episodes. Now, chaps, on to non-star related things that we've watched. Sweet Tooth. I've watched, I think, the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as with Umbrella Academy and certain other Netflix releases, I think this may be some of the best stuff Netflix ever done. It's so well put together.
The storytelling's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the storytelling sort of reminds me of Fargo a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
a
normal fairy tale. And it's produced by old Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. and his wife. And it may be their most successful product because, as we know, Dr. Dolittle literally did little in terms of money. But this, absolutely amazing. I know their budget looks. I know the budget's tight, but for a very small budget, they seem to have created something that looks like a big budget movie. and it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be making the mistakes that a lot of other stories with young people and teenagers have, or going straight for those cliches. And it's a weird story, but what do you guys think?
More
What's your Dave?
clones.
What's that?
More clones. More
What,
clones
they're-
created in a lab.
I think that may be a point there further down the road.
Well, that's why he was the first, wasn't he?
Oh, so you think all the mothers were injected with animal?
Well, yeah, it
That
was
would
in the
make
air,
sense
wasn't it?
When they got the twitch,
Yeah.
and everybody goes crazy. It's a
That's why all the babies are animals, half animals.
How cute was the little gopher kid, Bob? I was just like, when he got captured, I was like, man, I'd fuck up that guy. Get off Bob. Like, it was so sad. I was just like, no, not Bob.
Yeah.
Mate, it's evil. It's pretty
It's all
dark.
the little noses and the little ears they all have. You just laugh at all of them, don't you?
But then it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not going to cut up this kid, but I'm going to cut open the other one.
Yeah,
So
I like this. I like this one. This one looks good.
yeah, that's so dark, isn't it? Oh, it gets dark pretty quick, doesn't it?
What was that one they cut up though? It was like a
like an iguana, a chameleon, I think. Or
yeah,
an
because his
iguana.
eyes went all.
Yeah. So oh, you're not cute. I'll cut you up.
Guys hasn't got that far. We just spoiler alert.
It's all right. It's okay.
And Old Lang Syne was weird, wasn't it? When they're singing Old Lang Syne when they burn people's death in their houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird. I think it had a touch of the old what was that film?
The Two Fan.
Well, yeah, it's always got anything burning. It's definitely Clan.
Just burn it.
In my books.
You thinking Wicker Man?
Yeah, a touch of the Wicker Man, a touch of like those sort of apocalyptic movies where you've got to follow the rules, otherwise you're dead.
So you got to burn the germs, haven't you?
It. Yeah, and it just seems really, really brilliant. It reminds me of games like Fallout 4, Fallout 3 a little bit as well.
Yeah.
That's how you could have got rid of COVID, just by burning it all.
I do wish they could have had slightly more complex villains and what they look like bears. Let's hunt them. That's it. That's the response to hybrid.
Did you think the guy the Colonel looks like the one from Sonic the Hedgehog? The doctor.
Robotnik.
Yeah. Or maybe Charles Bronson.
He reminded me of someone. Might be Robotnik.
One thing that was interesting about this film, though, that really intrigued me about this movie. Now, the big man, as the kid keeps calling him,
the protector of every program there is,
whose name is Nonso Anozi, right? He has been in so much stuff as a protector of kids, particularly white boys.
Always the Guardian.
Anyway.
Always the Guardian.
He's literally, and I'm not drawing anything from it. I get the feeling that
he's been typecast, hasn't he?
He was Dracula's Guardian as well.
Yeah, if white parents can be there and had to have someone look after their kid, he'd be the one, because he's literally in.
He always dies though.
No, because he's in Last Legion, which is a film about King Arthur who gets dethroned and then rescued and taken to England and looks after. He's in that as well, protecting King Arthur. As what character did he play? Batty Atus. Yeah,
he's in Artemis Fowl as well, wasn't he?
Yep, he's in Artemis Fowl. He's also in, I think, Ender's Game. He's the guy in Ender's Game. He's like, "I'll never salute you," and then he's like, "Good work." By the end of the film, he's looking after Ender. He's in, like I said, Dracula. He's in Doctor Who as well. But yeah, he's literally made this mad career out of looking after other people's kids. And I just hope that this
maybe it's because it's built like a brick shit house and he's about 12 foot.
Yeah, he's a big lad. Or otherwise everybody's acting moves really small. Because the camera's always looking at what's up. But I find him infinitely fascinating, and nobody's really spoke about him too much in terms of his role in it. But he's a key character. He's literally, I think, he's amazing in Sweet Tooth, especially when he takes out the bad guys.
he's a machine, isn't he? Just
Yeah,
and it's so funny when the dad's like, "Oh, it's good to see you still got it." Like,
like he literally takes like 8 men out or whatever in the most savage way possible. You know, not like knocking them out, but like, ooh, look at that! There's a bear trap.
yeah.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much this will hurt them. And but I just had to mention him because I think he is literally the most amazing. He's a brilliant actor. And I don't think he gets enough credit for being a protector of white people's kids. And I think he deserves not only respect but love for that. And I hope this is a constant bit of work for him, because Ender's Game didn't work out.
Yeah,
The
nobody
Last
liked
Legion
it,
didn't
did they?
work out.
Armor's Foul didn't work out.
Oh God, he even do you remember, right? The Golden Compass. He was Iorek the bear, the armored bear.
Polar bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's everything.
He was in Rock and Roller. And the only slave film he's done is I Am Slave. That's a pretty impressive career, as far as I'm concerned. Lord
Was he in the
Almighty.
bill? Everyone's been in the bill.
No, I don't. I don't
Was he
think
in
he's
the
from
bill?
that crowd. He was in the prime suspect though.
There you go.
He was
There you
TV
in
go.
drama.
Prime Suspect.
Holby City.
But no, Conan the
EastEnders.
Barbarian. No, because I think once his career took off, which was after, by the looks of it, Rock and Roller. Once his career took off, I think he's done what his last couple of films have been Hollywood films: Sweet Tooth, Dragon Rider, Artemis Fowl, The Laundromat, Guava Island, All Is True, and Tebe, where he played Idi Amin, Zoo, which is a terrible series. Great premise. Have any of you seen it?
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, it's
and then I saw it was all cancelled, so I didn't bother.
No, it's 3 seasons, Mike. If you ever get a chance, watch at least the first episode because it's a great premise where animals are turning on humans, and then they realize
turning on.
Yeah,
turning,
so
yeah.
the
As in
genetically
turning onto them, not turning on humans.
Oh.
It's not Animal Farm.
they evolve mentally into sort of herd mentality and start killing humans in certain parts of the world. And he's part of the team that starts hunting and trying to stop this from happening. And it started off with a really great premise and would have been superb as maybe like a 6-part miniseries. But clearly somebody went, "Oh, we got a full-on series of this, haven't we, lads?" But it never had the budget to keep up with it.
What was it called again?
Zoo. It's on. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It slowly gets worse and worse as time goes on and the budget runs out. But he's in that. And that's it, really. I think, yeah, he's done Sweet Tooth. I think maybe a permanent thing. And don't be surprised if Robert Downey Jr. appears in the next season. And it'd be really cool if he does. I think of that film. But yeah, I'd give it a watch.
He's going to be a doctor. And he's going to speak to the animals.
Mike, did I ask you what you thought of Sweet Tooth? Did you was that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good storytelling. It felt fresh. Didn't feel like I've seen it before, kind of thing. Even though, it was a bit like a slightly more fairy tale-esque The Road.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the whole animal hybrid thing. I like the fact, he had like heightened senses and, I the begrudging hero sort of thing.
Yeah.
No real animals yet, is there? That's what I want to see. Where's the lions, the tigers,
the
elephants?
There was a tiger.
Was there?
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah, and
is it a friendly tiger though?
No, well, he was able to calm it down. So, and there's always deers about because it seems like whenever he's in distress, it seems like the deers always come out, which is interesting. Have you finished it yet, Curtis?
No, I haven't. But I've seen the episode where he's at that hut and the guy's about to shoot him, and behind him a king bear or whatever they call him.
Yeah,
a buck stands up behind him, and it's like, what the hell's going on here? And I saw that, and I could tell there's something coming in terms of what's going on.
That was Bambi's dad.
Yeah,
his dad.
So I think that's really cool. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Just like from what I've watched so far, and I'm hoping it gets better as the season goes on. I've only got, I think, a few episodes. It's only 6 episodes, is it? Or is it 10?
8, I think.
8. So it's 8 episodes. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it by next week. And we can talk about it in a bit more detail, as you do, gentlemen. What else have you guys watched? Have you, let's see, Dave, I know you said you didn't watch anything, but did you watch
I did actually. I
hey!
walked in halfway during a film called The Friend on Amazon.
The
They were
Friend.
watching it in the house. Yeah, it's about this woman has cancer. She's an actress and she gets cancer.
That sounds nice and
got
jolly.
Jason Segel in it. Yeah, it was, well, it was a sad film.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's one of those. They were watching it on a Sunday afternoon, and I happened to catch it and
That's
watch
fair.
it.
Well,
and get depressed and then watch football.
well, I won't hold that against you. We do what we do. Well, what's his name? Liam Neeson's next big B movie hit's been released.
Does
on
it say anyone
Amazon.
get taken or kidnapped?
No, but I'll read you. I'll read you
Gutted.
the blurb. Let me address on. After a remote diamond mine collapse in the far north Canada, a big
Money
ice
turn the light
road
on,
driver,
Curtis.
a big,
No one can see you no more.
a big. What's that?
You might want to turn the light on. That's better.
All right. No, sorry. I keep forgetting I'm black. There you go. Hold on. There we go. Right. So I keep forgetting for my audience. He's black.
There he is. He's
right,
glowing
so-
like a vampire.
After a remote diamond mine collapse in far north Canada, a big rig ice road driver, Liam Neeson, must lead an impossible rescue mission over a frozen ocean to save trapped miners, contending with thawing waters and massive storm. They discover the real threat is one that they never saw coming. And again, that was
And he
another
saves
one
them
of
all.
Oh,
Probably not
Train
here.
someone to be the greatest of all time.
Well, it can't. It had to be a big thing for them to rescue him. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. It's not particularly exciting. It doesn't look very
Yeah,
exciting. And it's Liam. At least he's not killing foreigners again. Which is of course.
Hold
like,
on, you don't know
literally-
yet. There might be someone in that mine.
No, I know. It doesn't look like he's killing foreigners the way he has done ever since he started doing. I think it was.
You don't know what caused the mine to collapse.
Maybe, and he has to take him out.
Terrorists. It's always
Take out the
terrorists.
mine boss
The gold mine.
in Alaska. I
Yeah,
just don't.
yeah,
see
that's
it.
where I watch like gold divers.
I,
They do that in Alaska.
I don't see terrorists hitting up Alaska. I just
Mate,
don't like
it's a big
Alaska.
place.
I know, but it's Alaska. Right. The only other thing, this is my moment where I'm going to beg everybody to watch this show.
It's the same show you begged us to watch last week and we never watched it.
I don't know. No, it wasn't that one. But you didn't watch it, did you?
I don't even remember what it was called.
It was JoJo's Big Adventure.
Oh, that's
Look,
the one.
don't worry about it. It's a crazy show. If you can watch it, watch it. If you can't, you can't. But there's a TV series that I beg you all to watch. I mentioned it once already in the show, but you have to understand how good this show is.
All right, just say it. Come on.
It is literally the best DC show on TV. Pennyworth. It's unfortunately on Star Plays. I know you have, but the rest of the world hasn't.
Oh.
And I think everybody just needs to watch it. It is that good. Pennyworth is it's great. I don't know why people aren't watching it at the moment. I don't know, because it's on Star Plays. But if you find a way to get hold of it, get hold of it. It's that good. The first season blew me away. The second season is just right out there. And
I haven't watched the second season actually. I might watch that this week.
I just finished it yesterday, but I would highly, if you like DC Comics and you like Batman, you'll love this. It's well made, it's well produced, and it's an action series set in the UK, which is a rarity at best. I can't think
Is
of
it the
many actions.
60s, isn't it?
60s, 70s. It's set
Yeah.
in a fictional Britain. But yeah, it's just brilliant. I just can't believe that it got put onto Star Plays, because I'm like, really? How the
Did they spend the money?
Like literally Star Plays. That should, like, if the BBC and I said it before, as I said with Game of Thrones, HBO missed the trick by putting it onto shows, letting it go into terrestrial channels, just because it would have had a much bigger, I think, following. It just made money, really. As much money as Game of Thrones made, I think Sky stifled it because the vast majority of people were watching it on
online.
pirate.
Yeah.
They were pirating it. And really, with the UK, you at least put the first season.
Yeah, but you got to remember that was HBO as well. It wasn't Sky; it was HBO. So
yeah, so I think with Pennyworth just deserves your love. Watch it, you'll love it, and you'll love Pennyworth because he's such a. The lads will love Pennyworth because he's so like, yeah, what's up? How you doing? You all right, boys?
well, he is exactly like what's his face? Michael Caine. He's a young Michael Caine.
A bit smoother, but yeah, he's like Michael Caine. He's like, what's going on?
Don't forget, Michael Caine was Alfred in
I need
Batman,
the money.
So
he was. So he might be doing his own version of his own.
Yeah, it's like it looks like Get Carter, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, there's that sort of element in it, but it's very, for the most part, it's very serious and very bloody, and I think it just works. Like I said, I couldn't imagine the British action film like that isn't totally cheesy, and this isn't, I think, cheesy at all.
Perlman face really good in it.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, I forgot his name. What's the Pennyworth? Let's jump in there.
I must watch the second season. I forgot about that.
I think it's Jack Bannon. Jack Bannon plays Pennyworth, and he hasn't been in much. He's a young new beast as such, but he's been in a few historical picks as bit characters, and I think this is Ripper Street as a bit character and stuff like that. And this is the first time. This is his big role, and he's superb in it. So that's it. That's my only beg. Please watch Pennyworth. Are there any shows that you guys wish people would watch and keep going on about, but don't say?
Well, it's a shame Superman and Lois isn't out in the UK because I think that's really good.
Oh yeah, I just finished that.
I'm on really episode 8, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's the best of all the CW shows. All the rest of them are just boring. They're so obvious. You know what's going to happen.
But there's no UK provider, and it's just really weird.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I watched it then.
I've got a feeling.
Oh, me neither.
Oh, yeah.
How am I watching it?
Oh, no.
Well,
you two can hide your VPN with our sponsor.
You were over.
Use Norton VPN.
You were over in the States recently. I know. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I don't know what's going on. I get the feeling that Superman and Lois may not have been released over here because I think E4 probably got it, and E4 tend not to put the stuff out immediately sometimes.
Well, no, I looked the other day and it still says there's no UK providers for it. So,
well, maybe HBO's planning on launching something in the UK,
or they just want to see how well it goes before they buy it.
Nah, I mean, they bought up Batwoman before even seeing that.
I gave up after episode 4.
Yeah.
I tried to keep watching it because I love the character, but it was just so bland.
They have no personality. Yeah. Both Batwomen had no personality.
All the characters are just like, just feel like I'm watching a children's play where they're going, I am Batwoman and I am going to fight you. You know.
I think they need to do with Batwoman what they did with the Arrow, and literally, I don't know why they
haven't done
this. No, they need to literally start bringing in Batman villains. Batwoman in the universe that it's set, Batman's disappeared and she's come to Gotham and taken over. It's not like she's in a separate city. She's in Gotham, and Gotham's known for characters like the Joker, Two-Face, all the rest of it. Bring them on. Don't mollycoddle her in a universe.
I don't think
it's all about Beth, isn't it? It's all
I don't think they're allowed. I don't think they're allowed. I think they've been told that they have to keep everything for Batman, and that they're only allowed to use certain characters.
Well, they cancel it because at the end of the day, I've always said it with Batwoman. If you're gonna have her in Gotham, let her face off against the Joker. At the moment, the only villain I think appears in it is a character called Alice, who I don't get it.
Well, it's her sister, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like a knockoff Joker, and I'm like, what? Just have the Joker.
No, like in the comics, it works really well because the imagery is amazing, and like she's a bit unhinged, but not in a Joker way. Yeah, like in a sort of childlike way, which is a bit different. And then the revelation that it's a spoiler, that is her twin sister who she thought died. It's all a great story, but in that, it's just like, meh. Right.
Yeah, well, even more so now that Alice, Katie Kane's gone, and they've got a new
It's
Batwoman.
still just so flat, though. It's
but that's what I mean. Get in the cadre of Bat villains. There's so many of them. Let her have some of the action. Let her prove herself. Because at the moment,
let her have Condiment King.
Yeah.
You know?
And tissue boy.
The problem, even Deadshot, have somebody appear in it, because the problem they have.
Well, they can't because he's in the other one now.
Well, they've done it before. The problem that they have is
Warner
that
Brothers has the rights, though, isn't it? So it'd be
he's
different.
going across like a lighter version of Batman. So her characters are shadows of Batman characters. So of course people aren't going to be interested in watching that. Why would you want to watch second-rate Batman? Do you know what I mean? You give her let her have the Joker. Do you know what I mean? You've done the Joker's death in the films. Let her have a version of the Joker, and go crazy on it.
Yeah, but this is also like they're trying not to be Gotham at the same time. So like with Gotham, you had all the mate. They should have just put her in Bloodhaven or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the Flash is back this week as well, by the way.
What, is he fighting a really super fast?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
has he got another super fast enemy?
Well, they're going to find another enemy, aren't they? He has loads of enemies. They come from everywhere.
Who will happen to be super fast. I've never, I don't know
Sharks.
about you guys, especially you, Mike, in terms of the comic book of the Flash, but I've never, outside of Flashpoint, and when I used to just collect comics religiously, Flash has never like grabbed me. Like, I know he's got his Flash rogues.
Well, he was always Superman's buddy to me, and then
or
he's never with Superman at all. So
or he's a backup guy. Having a character that can go super fast as a superpower, and that's their superpower. Like, I always like, how did any of his
no, he can throw lightning bolts.
His villains were a guy that could fire ice, right?
Yeah.
Super fast dude could just run around him. Guy with
King
fire,
Shark.
run around him. King Shark, who's just a giant slow shark, again runs circles around him. How does he have villains who can stand up to him? And I think the TV series has shown why, because they have to be super fast guys as well, and that's it. And I don't know. I don't hate the Flash, but I think its potential as a standard superhero comic just doesn't work and never has for me. How about yourself?
It's been fun when he's his fun bit is all to do with like time travel and the multiverse and the future and past, like all that stuff is fun. Or when he becomes a bit more of a detective. So when he's using his CSI stuff and trying to uncover stuff, and I mean, but when he's just running fast, you're like, oh, cool, thanks. Like, you can't be bothered.
And now the Flashpoint's all done. It's like, well, you've done it all now, mate. It's got to be over.
Well, Flashpoint's coming. It's never really dead. It's always something about it's about, like they really like Thomas Wayne Sr. As Batman. He's popped up in a few things, and he was even in Batman for a bit. And he's a cool character because he's. But this is it. That's the thing. Like, they did a whole big arc, and he was in it, and it was like, well, how are we going to sell Flash comics? Oh, let's put a Batman in it. So that says what it does, doesn't it? Really?
Well, they've got. They just released. Somebody took photos of the actual Batman set this week. And they got a picture of
Michael Keaton looking all Batman-y.
Michael Keaton
or Bruce Wayne.
It was like, hey, that was a nice touch. But again, I just don't. The Flash, I don't.
Isn't he going to be in the Flash movie as well?
Yeah, that was the film he's in.
Oh,
that was the scene. Like that was where they got the clip from.
Okay.
And that's going to be cool, I think.
And how did people who never saw the original Batman react?
It's
Who is this old guy?
Yeah.
How could he be? I was like, you whippersnappers! Oh, you little. Oh!
I'm the Batman.
It's like, I remember. Oh God, this is what age does. I remember when the original Batman film came out, and everybody hated on it before it was released.
Have you watched it lately, though?
I think it still holds up for the time. I'm not going to sit here and defend But if I compare it to
No, it's still a good film.
I think it holds up,
But,
especially to what came out
now
recently.
now it's more funny to watch.
Yeah,
because it is so bad to watch. Like
no, I think
at the time,
funny.
it was like the best thing ever.
What the Tim Burton
Like,
Batmans?
like the sets and everything. It was like the best thing ever when it first came out. But now you look,
I
it's so
still
dated.
think that. No, I see. I think
The
they still
car
hold
looks
up.
like it's made out of fucking cardboard.
Yeah, but I think they were clever by sort of dating it in a sort of almost like 40s-esque.
That's what I mean. It looks good that it's all dated and everything, but it's now like a comedy Batman.
No, you're right, and I think he made that Batman based on the original comic books. I stand by the idea that, unlike Michael Bay, he had slightly better material to work with Transformers, so he does make. I agree with you. I think it does look dated, but I think for the time it holds up.
It's still very watchable. It's still a very watchable film.
Because you've got Michael Keaton, you've got I've forgotten all the bloody cast. I'm getting old, boys. You've got Michael Keaton, and you've got, who else was in it? Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger, and they are superb. You had Prince doing the soundtrack. Party Man.
He was in it as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like a cameo in the background.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's a quickest question there. That's my pointless answer. There you go. Thanks for that.
So yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it does stand up. But my God, like we've had recently, I'd ask Tim Burton to come back, because the one thing I would give Tim Burton credit for, at least he had some imagination.
Well, look at Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
that was just crazy.
He puts his own mark.
Did he not do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well?
Yeah,
that was mad.
He did a version of that with Johnny Depp, who will now no longer be in anything apparently.
We just call Johnny Depp.
I don't know.
He's bankrupt now, isn't he? Supposedly.
Right. So what else was there? That was those. I think that's. Whoop. Am I missing anything? We've done the Incredible Hulk, the Boys, done that. Sweet Tooth, done that. Was there anything else you chaps wanted to drop into the mix, as such?
Nope.
Well, I think that's
not this week.
Not this week, but next week we'll have some more sugar for you. Well, I think that's.
But we get to go out together as a group for the first time in a long time.
On
have a big discussion.
on a full-on mandate. It'll be an interesting time. Right, so yeah, I think that's it. I think in terms of entertainment news, that's definitely it. I know there's been a few stories about the Boys, but only that apparently Twitter's putting out real meta statements about what's going to happen in season 3. But I'm not fussed about that at all in the slightest. And Rob Perlman, we've done him. Knives Out has started filming. Knives Out 2 has started filming, which is already
watched the first one. Was any good?
Oh, it's amazing. You've got to watch it.
Really?
Absolutely brilliant.
That's on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah. And so's John Wick 4.
Yeah, and the guy from Ip Man is going to be in it, isn't he?
Oh, really? That's a good grab.
That means Johnny Wick's going to get his ass kicked.
No, he's going to be his friend, helping him apparently.
Shame.
Yeah.
What I've made, I watched. I started watching the Ip Man films, and I think I'm up to Ip Man 3 or 4, but it's become that bit more of a struggle. Mike Tyson's in it, so I just find it really hard.
I stopped after the first one.
The second one's good, especially when they have little kid Bruce Lee in it. I think that's quite funny. But no, I think we'll see what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next time we meet, the next episode of Lucky would have been out by then, and the next episode of Bad Batch, Fast and Furious will be out. So we'll see whether they've got actually tempted into the cinema or not. And I think Black Widow, no, that's in another 2 weeks. So hopefully you'll be here to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've enjoyed the show. We breezed through the hour pretty quickly, which shows a level of excitement I could only describe as sexual. And we are now at the end of our journey. So we hope you'll join us again next week as we go on another bounty, searching for those stories to bring you excitement and joy from entertainment from across the web, because we are the boys from Bossk. Chaps, say goodnight.
Good night, chaps.
Now I need to remember how to stop this. This is like what?
You push stop.